This is SAF your prison lawyer. You're in the grill pit. You know, this is episode 62. No, episode 63. My bad. I got my man here, OJ. He don't want to stereotype anybody or do anything, but he's gonna bring us a lot of knowledge. He's got a lot of layers to himself. What you got to say, OJ?
First and foremost, I want to thank y'all brothers for giving me the opportunity, man, to come up here and speak my piece. I like to shout out to everybody that's going through something as far as what I'm opening up about. I just want to let y'all know, if y'all don't have a platform, you know, we're going to shout out these brothers right here for giving us a platform. And right now, I'm going to be the voice for the voiceless.
Yes, sir. We are the voice of the voiceless. And we about to do this. Episode 63, IGSTS. Ron G. Middle. Back, yo. Let's keep it.
But hold up. I got something to say.
Day.
Would you please tell me what your name is?
My name is Anshay Johnson, better known as OJ Smooth.
OJ Smooth. I'm at SAF Smooth, so we be family. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? The smoothest. I thought I was the smoothest. I might have to tell you. Hey, welcome to IGSTS. You in the grill pits in the white chair. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know why you came here today.
You know what, man? Honestly, I'm going through something real heavy, man, as far as baby mama drama, you know, and that's crazy how when you say baby mama drama, bro, it sounds so typical, and you can hear that term going off and not a lot, but what I'm going through as far as like not having my kids, how they've been taken from me, how I'm being looked at with the system of like the family court, it ain't real just going on. And to be honest with you, bro, I just been at a point in my life where like it was like self-destruct mode, you know. And I know I just linked up with y'all, give me the opportunity to kind of let my shit out.
So you got something to say?
Got something to say, bro.
Right. So I'm gonna give you the flow and let you tell us. Just start the story wherever you want to start it at,
sure. And
explain to us your situation and how you working to try to get out that situation. You got the flow, OJ.
All right, look, we just gonna go right into it, man. I had met somebody at a point in time in my life, man, and growing up, the way I grew up, we really was just doing our own thing. And we all have our little reckless periods of time, but I know, speaking for myself, man, you know, my dad was always at work. You know, my mom couldn't really handle a young man at my time. And I grew up a lot in Oklahoma with my father. My brother was always at work, you know, so we was in the streets. We had a little knucklehead period of time. Before I say that though, man, I just want to say this. You will never really know or experience real love, bro, you know, and until you see or feel the love that a daughter has for a father and vice versa,
yes,
you know. So I end up meeting the mother of my children. I got 3 beautiful girls, and they're from the same woman. When we met, we didn't have the opportunity to really go in court. You know, it wasn't like a let's go on dates, let's get to know you. It was one of them situations where it was like, hey, I'm in town. You know, we know mutual friends. We kind of linked up. I got a thing for Latinas, so, you know, it was really,
we all do.
You know, like this, you know, enough said,
yes,
you know.
Yes,
so it didn't take much, you feel me? And we living on the wild side too, so, you know, we got an opportunity though to kind of grow fond with each other, you know, and you know, it is what it is. One of them nights, man, tequila talk a lot of nonsense sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the moment, man, since 2015, I'm in the opportunity and trying to chase my boxing career, man, in Oklahoma. I just signed just signed a fight, Remington Casino in 2015, and I'm getting ready for my fight, man. And I met her up here in Minnesota. We did our thing, and I was living in Oklahoma at the time. She called me and was like, "Yo, I'm pregnant." And man, I remember calling my dad, bro, and just was like, right before I feel like I'm chasing my dreams, I'm like, yo, because this is a whole nother situation that's up north. You know, I'm in Oklahoma in my habitat. So long story short, man, I packed everything up and shot to Minnesota, man, and was like, let's try to do this. With that being said, though, I feel like we didn't have that opportunity to grow and build that relationship up. And then we were still young too. You know, my daughter came at 23, but at the same time, it was like, and I was a player from the Himalayas at the time. You know, so trying to put all these pieces together and just know how you really don't know much on parenthood, you know, or be what it is to be a parent until you like just thrown in the fire, bro. And it just was like one of those opportunities that came into your life, as far as mine, that just made me flip the script and not really having panic on, oh damn, I'm a father, what I'm gonna do, and just like start all lining up, like little decisions that you would make on a daily basis that could dictate how your life goes. You know, you're more now thinking about them and putting yourself in the best situation, and then having those moments to see on the ultrasound, you know, your seed in that you know, life forming as time goes by. And it was rocky, but one daughter, you know, in the game, I wanted a boy. You know, I was praying for a boy for real. And rest of my granny's soul, man. She told me one time when I told her I was having a girl, she was like, "That's karma." You know, that's karma. And I was scared when I having a girl. I was like, "Damn, man," because I used to be a real heartbreaker back in the day. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you, but holding my daughter for the first time, man, and cutting that cord, bro, and looking at her, look at me, and you know, I put, so my full name, man, is Andre Lutikland Dre Johnson. My dad came up with it, and for some reason I just knew that I had a boy, I was gonna have a junior, and when I didn't have a junior, you know, I was like, the night of the birth, I was in there coming up with names, like, so my oldest daughter is Layla Lachey, twin Carmen Jewel Johnson, right? And when she gets older, I know she's probably gonna hate me for that shit, but for her, because you're gonna have to pick one, especially if you try to put them on tests, because that was my worst thing, I had to write this shit out on the test. I'm like, what? I'm already got anxiety because I ain't gonna pass this motherfucker. Now you gotta be writing this long ass name on this paper, man. You know, but that was the situation, bro, and it kind of grew on into being able to be like, I grew up in so much in that short period of time, and in-house is in-house, you know what I'm saying? So it's always there. So then it's the comfortability is like you waking up in that, going to sleep in that, you know? So another daughter come after that, and it just, I got 3 daughters, they all back to back for sure. But then the dark side of it is, you know, you can't, if you don't take time to court or find out who this person is, you know, before you start having children with them, it's like throughout the progression of the relationship, these things are gonna pop up. And this is no shot to anybody for real. I'm just talking about my situation. And then the mother of my children didn't never really have a work ethic. And that kind of played a part into problems that occurred, right? We're in the trenches financially. So it's like, you gotta make your mind up. You know, I've been a cook and a chef for 13 years. That's my field. And I've always made good money in it, but regardless of the fact, if I have to work 2 jobs, mathematically says that I'm not gonna be at home. And she had opportunity to go to school and stuff like that, she just didn't want to. So it came to a lot, majority of the time we were together, we were like together for 5 years. And I was always at work, man, and to pay the bills and having the opportunity to come home and my daughter's asleep. And, you know, my oldest would stay up for me for a little bit, play with her for an hour before she goes to sleep. And by the time I gotta wake up, it's dark outside. I go to work, you know, and come home, it's dark outside. So the financial thing kind of played a part into that, and then not being at home. And then also, you know, her being a little bit younger than me. When I was 23, she was 21. You know, we still was babies though. I think in the mental thing, we was just trying to grow as it went. But those things happen, bro. It's like this shit started like a nigga coming home. Excuse my language, nigga coming home, bro. And it's like I work 17 hours, and all I do is cook. So if I gotta come home and there ain't no food cooked for me, no meal cooked for me, that's a disgusting feeling when you come home, right? Laundry, like in the kitchen, grease and then the food, that aroma and that smell goes into your fabric. It's a distinct, really tough smell to be around. You can smell it. It's a really disgusting smell after it sits on your clothes for hours and hours. So I'm coming home and showering. I'm like, damn, laundry ain't done. I ain't got no work clothes clean. I'm trying to wash them in the sink and fall asleep, so now my shit's wet. So I have to put on some dirty clothes, and these things, bro, built up a dysfunction in the relationship. It just wasn't connecting at that point, which then I felt like gave an opportunity for, those opportunities and those doors open for you to meet somebody or you coming across somebody. And at that point, it was like, there's no love here in this. And it just because like, I'm trying to keep this going for the children. So then, cheating starts happening. And I ain't no saint. I ain't gonna lie to you at all. I did cheat. And those doors did open, and they were open. And at a point in time, the beginning of the mentality is, I'm a family man. And then, you got somebody that's like, yo, I just brought you a meal just because I know, and hey, come over here. I might not go home tonight. I might just post up over here, and then that kind of goes downhill from there. Doesn't matter though. I always told everybody, I keep it real. I say, man, I was never the perfect boyfriend, but I was always the perfect father. I've always strived to make sure that my daughters didn't grow up like I grew up. And although, my mom and dad was on and off, and they were separated, and I knew how my dad, always made sure we had what we needed, maybe not everything how I wanted, but I always felt loved. I knew that my dad loved me, my mom loved me. But when that comes down to the situation, bro, where like you don't feel the same no more. So now you ain't breaking that back off no more. Now she's looking like, what's going on? Something ain't right. And you telling her like, yo, how can a king come home to dirty clothes, no food, house dirty? I got everything for you. I'm talking about seriously, brother, everything. She got everything. Nails, smoke weed all day, big ounces, keep it on you. Do what you do. Phone bill money. Come home. When I do have, my days off, I lock in. Me and my daughter's up early in the morning. We tearing the house apart. We cleaning it up. They're going to nap. I'm cooking them lunch, breakfast, and then like, this is a thing. But it's like, it was just not enough time. But, those things, bro, made the relationship disgusting at that point, And once that other party feels a disconnect, it came into be like, all right, well, I'm talking to this dude. I'm talking to this guy. And then I'm separating, but I'm finna go fuck with him. And then he got money, I'm gonna go fuck with him. And, you're like, if I loved you for real, this would have hurt me. Because as men, that's a prideful thing. You don't want no other alpha sleeping in the lion's den for real. You know what I'm saying? That could hurt your pride for real. But I didn't have that connection with her. So when that didn't work, like trying to leak this out, or hey, somebody call me, I see your baby mama over here with such and such. Bro, live her best life, bro. Where my daughter's at though? You know what I'm saying? Because if they're not with me and she's out, then I'm like, that was the only thing I worried about. And then one day in 2018, man, right? It was crazy because my birthday is on February 25th. And, my oldest daughter is born February 24th. Her mom's born on February 8th. So February and then Valentine's Day. So that was always it was always an expensive month for real. And we were separated at that time, and she made it clear that she was doing her thing, and she was out with some dude, and it was popping off Snapchat and videos, and she was sending them to me and shit. Like anybody else, bro, I felt like would have lost their shit, or because I've been in love before, real love, bro. And this one chick, I was really in love with her, bro. Some shit like that played out, and I promise you, like, there's a feeling inside you that make you want to throw up, nigga. I was like sick to my stomach thinking about the box, though. What she do to you, she doing to him, like that type of nonsense. But I didn't have that feeling with the mother of my children. So once that didn't work, bro, and I said I'm doing this to set up the real bang at the bottom of it is like it became now a pawn. Like my daughters became pawn in this game now because I can't hurt you the way I think I could hurt you. But this is the only way I know how to hurt you. I'm gonna get these kids from you. And when we separated, bro, it was just like, this is my biggest regret to my life, bro. Because when we separated, we were cordial enough where it was just like, hey, I get them Sunday night, drop them back off Wednesday night, you know. As a chef, I always try to offer any job Thursday through Sunday, the busiest days that you have for your week, and then I get 3 days off to deal with my kids. It's as simple as that. So when that shit started kind of playing out, I just never went down to the court and was like, listen, I need joint custody. I need to file for it now. Like, I just wasn't thinking, bro, because this is years that my schedule has always been. Hey, I got my daughters on these days, drop them off to you on these days. It was like super smooth. You know, you do your thing. The respectful thing is, hey, yo, look, if it's not nobody you're finna marry, they don't need to be seeing multiple different people around. That ain't that time. I didn't get raised like that. Yeah. They don't need, and I got all girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I got taken advantage of as a child, you know, with an older woman as a child, you know. So it's like, and then my sisters, you know, was violated as children, as young girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you do your best to know, to put them in the best opportunities to protect them, because there's always some type of shit that you won't never see. You will never know. You would never know. Nobody knew what would happen to me. Nobody knew it, you know. And growing up the way we grew up, who do you tell? How do you tell? How you talk about that type of shit? You know what I'm saying? So,
especially in our community.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and this is one of the biggest things for y'all. I feel like y'all were like God sending me the angels, bro, because for the last 4 or 5 months, bro, I've been in self-destruction, and don't know how to get out of it. You know, it really, in our community, how can you say you're depressed? Like, how do we have the luxury to be depressed? We got to go outside and still make it every day. Nobody's gonna give you shit. Nobody's gonna feel bad for you. I can't call my job and say, bro, I ain't got my kids. I don't know how I'm gonna get them back. I'm literally depressed. I'm in a dark room. What nigga, do you want your job or not? Because you can't take off a week.
Facts.
You know? Facts. So it's like, that's the type of, your landlord, hey, I missed work for a month because I was been depressed. Can I skip my rent this month? He's not gonna give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Real
so
shit, real life.
What is mental health when you don't get to break that shit down, bro? And you know,
I think personally, keep your thought. I think a lot of times that's why so much drugs in our community, because we find ourselves self-medicating, alcohol, weed, crack. It don't matter, jokes. We just trying to remove ourselves from that pressure, that pain.
Right.
We're just trying to move into another realm on this universe, in this universe, and it ends up being self-medication. It looks like it's drug abuse, but we're just trying to cope with that, with living on this planet, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, yeah, I feel you. I straight up feel everything you're saying.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
You got the flow.
And, you know, I think that with that, when that kind of set it up, bro, it was like once it hit, and it did hit, and I didn't know how to react to it. So, you know, once she found out that I responded like that, and at that point, bro, that was the only thing that I knew that I fucked up, because I reacted so, you know, like any father would that love his children. Like, go, what the fuck? Like, right in the pocket. And then when she seen that, she abused any opportunity she could, and was like, all right, cool, I'm gone. You know, no contact. All right, boom, moved houses and shit like that. And, you know, that's one thing about, I say, because I know strong women. I got strong women in my life. You know, I'm from Oklahoma, bro. I've seen strong women my whole life. But the mother of my children isn't one of them. And she's just not. You know, like, bro, when we got together, I got up here and I had her move in with me. She was staying with her mom before that. All right, cool. She separated, boom, she left me, and she went back with her mom. And then she bounced off and went to somebody else's house. But taking my daughters, my daughters are just casualties of war and shit, bro. You know, not even man, my daughters, bro, I've always made sure they had their own room, wherever I'm at. And I've been living on my own by myself for a decade plus, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I had roommates like my brother, my dad was with me, 18, 19, but like my daughters came into play, bro. It was like family mode. And then when the separation happened, it was like, I'm always gonna have a room, and they're always gonna have a room. You know, 2-bedroom duplex, where still to this day, bro, I still got their room locked in, you know. And that's just how that shit played out, bro. So basically, I had COVID hit, and COVID hit, I was taking them for a full week because I didn't have to work, you know. And then we was just trading off weeks at that point. And then the getting must have been good, right? So my job at the time was the Butter 10. It's a breakfast spot, the sous chef down there. That was like, yo, we're gonna be open for takeout, which, you know, the business was so busy that I wasn't getting the unemployment money that everybody else was getting, right? So like, I was working so many hours that when I filed for unemployment while I was still working, it was like $150 or $20 or some shit like that. Where everybody at the time that was calling this unemployment shit that was sitting at home, bro, was getting like $800 a week. Almost like $1,000 a week or some shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm in my mind, I'm not even catching on to it. Now, mind you, bro, I've been paying child support since 2016. Since my daughter was born, my first daughter was born. Lives with me, has my address, you know. She like lives at my house, and I'm paying child support, bro. And yeah, money don't ever take it out my check. I'm still here. I'm still active. I still get them. When I get them, you know, I don't give you bread. You're getting child support already. So when I bring over packages and care packages for them, I still want that shit back. You know, like if I bring them clothes, then they're clothes. If I, you know, toys and all that, like you got people in there misplacing shit, and shit's coming up missing, and you know, shoes and $100 worth of clothes just up in that. They're like, come on, bro. You know, this shit is not the same, bro. It ain't like I can go downtown and be like, hey, I need assistance, and I need this, and I need that, and I need this. Like, I don't got that luxury, bro. And if I did, they would have looked at me different. You know, they just look at you different. And you know, so that's just how that shit played out. My baby mom's ended up moving in with her cousin. And then shit, her cousin must have been at work all day, and her cousin was married. So the husband, baby mama and the husband start fucking, and she got pregnant. So I got an email, bro, in September saying that this is gonna be hard for you to accept and understand, but I can't financially live in Minnesota no more, and I'm moving states, and it's gonna be basically impossible for you to be in their lives when I have to move. So when she told me this, bro, she had already like darted off, though, right? So she's telling me like she can't afford to stay here, like she ain't making enough money or some shit. Unbeknownst to me at the time, though, is when her family had already knew she's pregnant by her cousin's husband. Now, mind you, if anybody let you in, like, hey, come slide in here, you need help, I got you, cuz, come over here, I got you, you can come live with me and my husband, we got our kids. Yeah, you know, they got their own set of kids. Like, hey, you know, he in there raw dogging, she ended up getting pregnant. And then that shit popped out. Now, mind you, this is where the shit popped off. It was like, yo, why the fuck would you take my kids? Because you fucked up.
Right.
Right? Like, bro, it ain't even about what I had at that moment, right? It's about me being like, what do I need in that moment? It don't matter. You call me, hey, I gotta go. I'm packing them, I'm dropping them off in 10 minutes. Well, I'm gonna look around and be like, well, let me get my work schedule down. What days cares? I gotta, you know, my sisters and my moms has always helped, and you know, it's just been that thing, man. I feel like that's another pressure point for my mom, bro. It's like she's missing the opportunity and the experiences of being a grandmother.
Yes. Because
this motherfucker take them whenever she want to, but this round was, and she done it multiple times, bro. And that's why I said it's one of my regrets, bro. Because it's like anything with the system, bro. It's like you damn near have to force us and drag us down there to do that shit. Like go down there and register for custody. It's like the courthouse. Or go down there, you know what I'm saying? This is make you feel fucked up. Like what? But yeah, dog. September, that was the email, and she knew my day.
What year is this? September what? 2020?
2022.
2022.
So COVID happened. When COVID ended getting over with, I had went back to work full time, and this is 2021 when I had got lined up with this job full time. It was the Hope Breakfast Bar around the corner from my house, and I just told her, I said, hey, I ain't gonna be able to take them for 4 weeks no more. We're gonna have to go back to our regular schedule. Now, mind you, she's like working at the gas station, bro, for like $13 or something, for like half a day. She had to work a certain amount She only can't go over a certain amount of hours so she can get her benefits and shit, right? So this is ain't the fucking same. I'm paying child support. I gotta work 17-hour days, nigga.
Yes, sir.
Fuck to make ends meet, still pay my fucking rent and be a father.
Yes, sir.
She gotta have to limit her hours so she can still get these benefits. It's just like this shit ain't built right, bro. This shit ain't built for us, and it's like fuck that. And it make a nigga really sit there and I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Like this shit fucked up a lot for me, bro. And I remember in 2021 she popped that shit off. All right, cool. She was like real distant. She'd give them to me, then she wouldn't. And then I got them in like the ending years of like 2021. Like had that New Year's November area. She let me get them. She was just doing her thing. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I sent them back one day. She wasn't responding. She went MIA. So I pulled up at the mom's house. The mom was like, she don't live here. She never gave me the address to where the cousin was living at. So nobody know where she's at. Nobody seen her.
That's fucked up.
So then, we started trying to go through the process right then and there for like the courts and shit, right? And then September 2022, she's like, "God, this is gonna be hard for me." It was an email, bro. And she always known my schedule, dog, on my life. She's always known my schedule. My schedule was always Thursday through Sunday for my daughters. So she waits for me to go to work. I'm at Billy's on Grand, bro. I had just started, in like July. So like I was still relatively new, but I don't really miss work. It's never who I really been. So like I get there early in the mornings, like start my day off, like pop it off, pink. Email too, right? Email. And shit, she didn't tell me the narrative until, like I said, I found that out in like October, bro. I was begging for my mom and my family. I was telling them like, yo, I'm hurting. Like, I'm dying inside. It's a different type of pain that I have. I can't really bear this. I need family support just to be around somebody that I know genuinely cares about me. We had like a dinner, and we in there chilling and family time and shit. Next thing you know, I pop a bottle of Hennessy and whoop. And I look at my sister and I say, hey, I got two older twin sisters. They're twins, like 33. I look at them and I look at her and say, hey, you ain't heard nothing about the girls, right? Or anything? She look at me and she say, no. I'm like, all right. It's me, my sister, my mom, her husband, and my lady at the time. I'm like, all right. And then I start talking. Right, you start going in these stories, bro, and then it's like the thing about it is like you're at so much at a painful point where you're scared to pick up your phone, bro. You don't want to go through Snapchat, or your Google might just be like, well, this is from a year ago or whatever the case is. You catch a photo or a memory, that shit will put you down, my nigga, for hours straight. And bro, I ain't no big old gangster and shit. I've always been a soldier, bro, for real, but we all thugs, bro. Like Tupac said, we all thugs, bro. And crime wasn't a thing, especially where I'm from. But this shit was real, and I started crying, bro, at the table. Boom, I'll never forget this shit. I'm slapping this bottle. I'm crying at the table and shit and laughing about little videos and shit. The next thing you know, bro, it's like, my sister was like, she slams on the table. She said, hey, I gotta tell you something. And the whole room shuts up and just looks at her, and she's like, I don't know how you're gonna take this, so I didn't know if I was gonna tell you or not. But Melissa's with Dane. And I look at her like, what? And this is the husband. Now, the quick backstory. The cousin and the husband, I used to work with them, bro, when I first got up here from Oklahoma. There was like a cleaning company. She's like, oh, my cousins, they do like, they clean these houses and shit, big ass houses. They're hiring right now. So I ended up working with this dude and the cousin for like a month and a half, right? And so that shit was crazy. She was like, yeah, she's pregnant by him and she moved to Maryland. And nobody kind of wants you to know because they don't know what you're gonna do and all this shit. And I had to process that, but I'm so emotional, bro, that's like, when I processed it, I put it in the back of my mind, but in the front of my mind, I was like, bitch, I just asked you 5 minutes ago, before you start hitting, what was it, the tears? Right? Did you need to see me boogering to the nose, like, my girls, my daughters, all that? Like, what was it? And she was sitting there stuck. Now, my mom see the vocals going up, because at this point, it's like, niggas don't understand this shit, bro. It's like, there ain't no going back, bro. This type of pain is not like, bro, you just can't wake up and be like, everybody be like, yo, just keep your head up and everything's gonna get better. God wouldn't put you through no trial. And I hear that. And I pray to God, bro. You know, I do. I pray every morning, every night. I should pray more throughout the day. But we talk. But he had never explained to me why me though. Bro, I don't know, bro. Even in my family, bro, I know so many deadbeats, bro. So many motherfuckers that be like, you took him from Maryland? Shit, I'm gonna get a beer. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we talking about, bro, it's different. You know, I got 3 daughters, dog. And my youngest baby, she's 3 now. I got 3 daughters, bro. She was born in the COVID era. We couldn't even go into a hospital to see her because of the COVID restrictions. You know, she was born, bro, 20. You know, it was like those from 20 to 21, those years were real grimy years. People were losing people on a consistent basis. Like, coughing could kill somebody. It's like, it was a real thing. She's a COVID baby, bro. You know, but when I got her, we was completely separated. So this is me at 2 months, waking up, bro, every 2 hours with an infant. This is an infant, bro. Those experiences are different. You mostly have the mom and y'all dealing with this shit together, and she's usually really gonna give her the nipple. And no, bro, this is an infant baby, bro. Not a toddler. This is an infant, a 2-month-year-old little ass baby. And I'm like 4 days out the week. This is me. I got you. So our you know, our progression from that situation was different. That relationship was different. Cause she was like, that's a closer bond. You know, usually it takes some months for the dad to get more react. Okay, here, give me that baby. That baby ain't too fragile. This is my 3rd baby. The mom wasn't there. I'm staying on my own. I'm getting up, making my own bottles. I'm wiping that little ass myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to really properly do the right burp. Cause everybody got a burp different. You got a stubborn little baby. You gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Those are the processes. Is like, I feel like I missed. Because you were more scared the first 2 pregnant. You know what I'm saying? You'll get that baby, man. She's so small, she can't. It was different, you know? So, and she's, you know, my daughter Liana, man, my baby, she's the one that I fear for the most. Because her mom had so much hate for me while she was conceived. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't together. She was just having so much hatred thoughts and the dislike for me. And, that was the biggest thing, bro. Is like, she's young too. She was so young. She's young enough to feel like this nigga is really gonna be her daddy. She's not gonna know the difference. She might have knew back then, but as 3 and 4, she's like, this is what I know. My other daughters, you know, my you know, Luna is my middle child, and they're all different in their own way, bro. But Luna is like the version of me that I had to really work on majority of my life. But she'll pop off. And I was still learning how to be strict, man. And one day Luna, she grabbed a fucking crayon, bro. And I grabbed her 30 markers, bro, of cool ass, big ass books, human sized coloring books. And you gonna take the crayon and she's marking on the wall, bro. She just looking at me too. And I'm in there, you know, I'm kind of tired. I'm watching Netflix. I'm like, my oldest is like, ooh, daddy, Luna, daddy. I look up, and when I get up, I said, Luna. She's marking it, and she's smiling, bro. I wouldn't even have whooped her, bro, if she would have reacted different. She's smiling like, pop fire on her ass. Pie out. Man, I popped her so hard too, bro. And she almost looked at me like, I'm finna cry, not because that shit hurt, because you hurt me, nigga. So when I popped her and she cried like that, bro, it took me like nothing but like 45 seconds to pick her up. And I was like, I'm sorry, mama. Like, I'm sorry. And she looked at me and gave me the crayon. Nigga, I start crawling on the wall. I start drawing on the motherfucking wall like, fuck, I'm gonna clean this shit, I'm gonna repaint this shit, bro. And that's when I knew I was like, having daughters, bro, changed the way I thought about women, how I think about life in general, you know, and now going through this situation, bro, was kind of like, I I be at home, bro. And yesterday, I'm glad this shit popped off a day after Father's Day, bro, because yesterday, bro, was like the toughest day in my motherfucking life, dog. The toughest day, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, my dude. I cried yesterday so hard. I fucking yelled. I took the pillow to my face. I screamed, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through my mother, and I did this all sober, bro. I was like, I smoked my little weed or whatever, but I'm like, I don't want no liquor and nothing inside of me right now. These emotions are gonna be raw and uncut. You know, I had to raw and uncut my phone off, bro. My mom reaches out to me because my mom, bro, she's been there, but there ain't nothing else I can do. I couldn't call anybody with the booger nose voice. Like I'm dying, man. I didn't even know what to tell her. You know, I just called her one time and said, "Mom, I'm fucking dying. I'm not okay." And that takes so much, bro, pride as a man, but as a black man, bro, to tell somebody, hey, you are not okay. I have to go to work every day.
Yes, sir.
You know, I have to go to work every day, bro, and it don't hit anything, man. It could be a song, it could be a smell, a sound from something dropping. About I remember when Luna dropped that shit, I was pissed. Like anything, bro. I'm so triggered into being like boom, and then the mental health part comes out of it. Is like you have to tell yourself, get it together, write down, bro. Because if I didn't tell myself that in the back of my head while I'm talking to y'all right now, bro, I'd be in tears right now, bro. This shit's real, bro. This shit really real, bro. It ruined my relationship with my lady that I was with. You know, she had kids, and we were staying together at the time. And I ain't gonna lie to you, dog, I really love that woman. You know, that woman, bro, I was with, bro, I really loved her, bro. For real. And I think it was a blessing, man, to have her while I was finding all this shit out. But between going through this shit, I didn't catch it in time that I was like, I'm changing in myself mentally, you know, emotionally. I'm changing. I'm disconnecting from a lot of shit to the point where, bro, I did some real foul shit to her as far as like, I was like, I'm cutting everything off. I was like, yo, you gotta go, like if your kid's coming over, you gotta go slide over, you know, take them to your mom's or something. Like I can't have nobody's kids around me. I ain't got my own kids right now, you know, and that shit kind of destroyed the relationship, bro. We ain't together to this day. But I just kind of felt like even to this moment right now, bro, it was hard for me to even get up. And I know that I was like, bro, I was looking forward to being able to come and use y'all's platform, bro, and just be able to let my shit out. Cause it was like just bottled up inside me, bro, for real. Like it was bottled up inside me for so long to the point where like, nigga, I was scared to come outside. Cause the motherfucker don't know. Everybody's going through something, but you never know what that nigga's really going through.
Yes, sir.
You know? And then next you know, 5 minutes later, you can change your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
So
just emotional reaction, just pain that you couldn't
For
release,
sure.
and the wrong person's in the
sure.
wrong place at the wrong time, and you regretting it. And that's like stuff that's how things usually happen, for sure. Now, are you and the mother of your children talking? Have you guys established any type of communication?
no communication, bro. I got only her email, bro. I contacted her mom. I contacted her sister on Instagram. I had to find her sister like I'm a fucking stalker, dog. Found her sister. Sister tried to play me like she didn't know nothing was going on until I confirmed that I had already knew why she left. And you know what's crazy, bro, is they had sent me a paperwork, bro, in the mail, dog. They sent this shit in the mail to me, bro. It was like telling me that my child support was finna go down because she had her baby. She had her baby, bro, in it was like some June or July or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when she texted me I'm moving, I took the girl, she was already gone, but she was already pregnant. So she had the baby, bro, in like June or some shit like that. And then the nigga that she had the baby with was like, well, you know, my son and daughter's still here. Your kids are here. Like, they know that. He's like, I don't want the baby.
Ooh.
So she signed the baby over for adoption to his sister that they was living in her basement. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. There was so many things going through my head, and I'm glad that I got to a point where now, like, I'm humbled enough to be deep in prayer, right? Because, bro, I was like, everything that I worked for this long, bro, you know, everything I got to this point that I was trying to get to this point, bro, was like, it was jeopardized from this moment on. You know, it was at to a point where I couldn't go back. I was finna lose everything, bro. But emails, the only thing I had was an email. And I hit the email knowing I shouldn't, because it enrages in me. It gets down into a deeper sorrow, bro. I don't even know how to really describe the word that's deeper than dark, because that's where I was at. I was really in a dark, dark place, bro. And I'll share this with y'all, man, in conclusion about that type of time. 2 things. Called Minnesota, gave him my thing, and that this shit was so fresh, bro. Everybody that I talked to getting the tears, nigga. I'm telling everybody. I'm crying out for help, man. Miss, ma'am, please help me. Give me direction, because I'm telling you, this shit is not going to be good for me. And she was like, I can't help you, son. She was like, Minnesota don't got no jurisdiction in family court in another state. And if you don't know exactly where they're at, there's nothing we can do.
Get out of here.
And hung up the phone. Told me have a good day. Hung up the phone. Alright. Find out they're in Maryland. Bro, we in there on some GoFundMe shit to try to hire an private investigator to find out exactly where they're at. You know, I'm looking for, like, my daughter's gotta be enrolled in the school, daycare.
Yeah.
You know, the database that we got is different from, they ain't the police, but they connected to the police in some way where they can use some of the shit that they use to get down there, but they expensive. I'm talking about savings account, bro. I'm ready to shred it off. Everything can go. TV, 85 inch, everything can fucking go upon everything, bro. Because once I find my daughters, bro, it ain't, if I was down there by myself, I already knew that I'd be on some gangster shit. My daughter's been through so much already, man. But my oldest already knows, bro. I always come and get her. I always find her. And I know, bro, that she's coming to me, bro. It's been 3 dreams, dog. I done had 3 dreams, bro. 3 fucking dreams, man. And they all play out the same way at the end. I can't respond and I can't talk. And all I say is like I'm doing this. And it transpires into the real life where, like, my girl had to wake me up. And when she tried to wake me up, I remember feeling like I was in the dream. Then I was in the, like, that transition from the dream in the real life. I was stuck here. Like, I knew I was still dreaming, but I knew I was up where I could hear myself going, you know? And my daughter comes to me, bro, all 3 of them. And the last one, bro, I had walked into the backyard of my mom's house when she had a big ass pool, bro. And my daughter's like, my mom's holding him. She's like, look what I found. Look what I found. And I come through the gate. And nigga, this shit felt so real. I felt like the little piece of splinter shit from pushing on the gate too hard on my finger. And I popped the gate open and they see me, nigga, and they was like, Daddy. They broke free from my mom's, nigga, her arms, dog. And when I bent down to pick them up, all 3 of them, bro, the wetness from the pool and the skin, it was so wet, it felt so cold, it felt so real, bro. And my oldest grabbed my face like this. And my youngest ones was right here. And I was holding them, dog, and it felt so cool. It was real. And then I couldn't talk. I was trying to say shit to him. I couldn't talk. I've always, in the dream, my mind's always trying to apologize for the time that we have already missed. But no words come out, bro. It's just a, and I'm trying. And then shit, my girl's trying to wake me up, you know? And just like 3rd round, bro, where it's like I woke up and when you look at that empty ass house where I stayed, the house is empty. I ain't moved. You know, all the toys that I know that they outgrew, clothes that they outgrew, everything's still the same, you know? But that's one of them things, bro. It was just like, hey man, I know that I ain't the only person going through this shit, bro. For real.
That's why I was so fortunate, because I really just not even understood all the situations you've been through, and I'm so grateful you came, because I know there's somebody going through the same thing. They might have even made the same choices you've made, and they looking for somebody to explain to them, or some reaching out to them, and I think this is gonna be that. But I want to take a quick break, and then I want to come back on camera and
For sure.
talk further with you.
For sure.
We'll be right back.
Man, this shit gotta be a joke. My baby mama's a bomb, bitch. She be on some dumb shit, some shit that I cannot fuck with. I am the one that took care of you. Taught you some shit that you never knew. You're doing some shit that I never do. You're turning your back on a nigga that kept your throat. Man, this shit gotta be a joke. My baby mama's a bomb, bitch. She be on some dumb shit, yo. Really shoulda never let you in, but I damn sure ain't finna let you win. Thinking shit slick like cinnamon until it's really beef. I had to sit it there. I don't understand it. Look what you did. You done so much damage. How do you manage? Yeah, I'm the man as long as I follow your plan. Bitch, I ain't feeling that. Never been good with relationships. You know who the fuck you was dealing with. Yes, it's true. I brought you major pain. So once again, I'ma take the blame. Everybody know that.
I just like what he was just saying right now, because that's your promo stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's recording right now.
Okay. So you were just saying that you got to wait a whole year to go back and even to try to go through the course to get custody of your daughters.
For sure.
And then we was just talking. I was just saying too that if you did, and when your first daughter was born, if you did go to court, got custody of them, got custody all through your daughters, right now you'd be able to file an Amber Alert because she basically kidnapped them kids,
Right.
and she would have to bring them back to the state because that'd be illegal.
Hey man, you know what was some of the craziest shit, bro? Was when this shit first popped off and I found out, bro, this, I was gonna call her bitch, this motherfucker was still getting government assistance, bro, up here, right? So we like, I'm finding this shit out, she's still getting food stamps, she getting cash assistance, you know what I'm saying? That shit's all registered here. Shorty been gone at the time for like already 6-7 months getting established, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, none of this shit documented. Like, ain't none of this shit. I'm pulling the car. Like, hey, yo, somebody gotta look into this shit. And then, you know, it was just one of the hardest things, man, to be able to sit here and talk to a motherfucker on the phone that you don't know, that don't give a fuck about you. And before they even get to know you, they just seeing like, okay, you don't got your kids and you the dad and they with the moms. All right, that's probably better. Like, that's how they just treat you, my nigga.
So that's important, and I think that's the reason we have you here, because it's many fathers out there like yourself who want to be with their kids, was integral parts of the kids' life,
Sure.
and a system treat us as though the only people a person should be with is the mom. And I had that problem in prison where they were giving the females all these rights to be around with their children. What the fuck? You don't think I want to be with my children? See my children?
Right on.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, why you giving them the possibilities of having their child come up there and be with them? It's because they're so quick to try to eliminate our custody or our supervision, but it goes right back to breaking that family up and having those daughters not know their fathers and having a system, because to keep this thing a continual cycle. And that's a lot of things that I wanted to sort of talk to you about, is like how much of your family life of you not having a marriage, not saying the marriage works, but just seeing that, believing that structure would work in your relationship. Because if y'all was married, maybe if you proposed to a married her, maybe it might have been a little bit different. Not to say anything, but just like we was just talking, like what we see is what we do.
Sure.
So we was like, man, my mother and father did it for years, decades. So it's gonna work in this situation, and it didn't work.
You know what the thing about that, bro, and this is the deep part, is like, when I was kind of triggering off that shit earlier, it's like, this is like, hey, bro, that shit made me want to do everything different for what I seen, right? Because I remember going to some of my people's, you know, house as a child and seeing their household, their dad and mom in there. You see the big family portraits and the fucking family pictures, and this, we went to this day and they went, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had that, bro. All I remember is me and my dad was always together, bro. You know, I got a lot of siblings and shit, and my dad, bro, has always been there for all of us. You know, but we never seen that. But that made me want that, especially for my children. But I remember thinking to myself, because that conversation occurred one time. She was kind of like, yo, we've been together for such and such. You ain't ready to propose yet and all that shit, right? Like, she's talking like that and she's talking like that and shit, bro. But then I'm like, I just knew that the chick that I knew that I was gonna be with for the rest of my life would never let me go to work with dirty clothes. Besides all, it's called a spade, my nigga. You Latina. That shit's against the way y'all brought up. You shitting me? Nigga, the king food, the man going to work all day, man, she had a little tamales and the fucking empanadas and shit, man, that's how they do, bro. Pack his lunch and shit. Had that meal, nigga, come home, nigga, and I guarantee you that meal's ready for you.
Yes, sir.
What, nigga, you want a Modelo or Corona? Not being funny, but I'm dead ass. Like, they got that nigga's beer there, bro. Like, that's the Latina's background, bro. Hispanics are built like that.
Yes, sir.
They really are built like that, bro. So it's like, no fucking way. There was no way in my mind. I was like, this can't be the one I'm meant to be with for the rest of my life, because I'm coming home to a dirty fucking house. I've been at work all fucking day, dog. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This is to pop off, man. It's like, one day it happened like that. We was popping off, and it was going back and forth all day. And I was telling her what I'm telling y'all. Like, shorty, I keep you everything you need. We go to the mall, you got clothes. You want your nails done, you got money for your nails. You want, man, bitches out here trying to match a dub. I'm getting you ounces, and I ain't even there to smoke the shit. Bitch, can I get a blunt rolled up? Have my blunt ready, you know what I'm saying? You know, hey, man. You got everything you need. Phone bill paid. You got all the stream, Netflix, Hulu, whatever you want. Food and like, man, we was good, bro. Like, that was like, if you could trade that in, you go 20 motherfuckers out here right now in Frogtown, Rondo area and let them know the scenario. Could you make that work?
Sign it up.
What the fuck? Could you make that work?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So nah, bro, that's when the shit went downhill. And it happened one day. I was like, I had to work at a restaurant. It was like a sister restaurant to one of the restaurants I was working at that night, and I had to go out further. And when I had went out further, they literally was like, the buses and shit wasn't running, and one of my coworkers came and got me, and shit, we had went to her house, bro. She cooked me a meal, and that's what started it, bro. She cooked me a meal, bro. She ain't want nothing from me. We was just talking and parlaying, bro. Took me to Target, you know, bought some drawers and shit. It was because at that point I knew I wasn't even finna go home. Like, I knew that it was already over with, bro. At this point, I was like, yo, this ain't it, and you holding on to something. I'm like, bro, this is gonna be all my prime lifetime to still be able to be like, if you ain't the right one for me, let's not just hold this shit on because of the kids. It's just not in their cars that have a household with mom and dad both in there, but that don't change. I turned out fine. You know, there's people that be like, hey, as long as the both parents love you the right way, you'll be straight.
Yeah, and I believe
but taking them from their dad ain't that ain't the code, bro. That ain't the key to life. You know what I'm saying? And then having this nigga that I don't even know, bro. Any nigga, bro, that's gonna sit there and fuck his cousins or his wife's cousin, get her pregnant, make her move to another state, and then give up the baby to his sister. There ain't no nigga that's what's raising my daughters.
Right.
Ain't no stand up nigga, bro. The fuck? And you living in your sister's basement, ain't no stand up nigga, bro. You feel me? So it's like, bro, now the biggest thing, man, and shit start popping off, bro, is like, biggest thing is like the fear for my daughters to be able to be like, how long is this shit gonna take? Right? How many birthdays have I missed already? How many Christmases and Father's Days are they giving this nigga cards? They making cards for him, but my oldest fucking know this ain't right. She know, man, where my dad at? Cause this ain't right, bro. And that's my twin, bro. We born a day apart. A day apart, brother. You know what I'm saying? She's the best version of me, bro. My oldest is the best version, and she's the most sweetest, and I'm scared for her because my, you know, Luna, my middle child, she's cut from the rag already. Like, you come play with me, I'm gonna go upside your shit. She's ready, she know how to read that shit. My oldest, man, she's so gullible to the beautiful world. Somebody's gotta be there and guide her, or she'll be taken advantage of, bro. And I can't trust any of that. I can't trust her mom to have her best interest because your mom just ripped you away from the only nigga that's gonna really love you for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit kills me though, bro. And then, you know, with the system being like, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do and come holler at us in a year.
That's bullshit.
But in the meantime, save your money up, nigga, because you're going to have to book a hotel, book a flight, go down there, put the fucking court fees or whatever the fuck you got to pay for, and then get back, food, cost, and then, hey, will I even be able to see my kids when I go down there? Because this is where the fuck it is. It's like, nigga, we don't even know where they at in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfucker basically was like, hit the baby daddy up, hit the nigga, hit the husband up. And at that point, I had to really fall fuck back because I was like, I got one opportunity to contact that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta make sure I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I don't even know if it's pride. I don't even know if I could contact this nigga. Hey, bro, can you let me FaceTime my daughter? Bro, I would lose my shit, black out, and then be doing 25 to life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I have to, I'm trying to let my mom's super spiritual right now. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of locking into another point of her life, hitting 50, God's willing. And, you know, my mother, man, is such a beautiful woman and beautiful soul. She did her best. She was a little rocky. You know, we had a little rocky relationship growing up, but, man, you know, I feel like at this time, because my dad, bro, he's been through it all, but he only knows how to be the drill sergeant. He only knows how to be one way. You know, I think about him as Leonidas from 300. You know what I'm saying? Like he's when they were celebrating the victory, he was standing with the shield, the sword, in the rain, waiting for the next wave. Like that's all my father knows how to be, bro. You know, and for this, I needed a elegant finesse to kind of guide me through this shit, because you know it's like there's a monster inside of me, bro. That created with this. It was like naturally what we deal with as a black man in America already. And then you're taking this depression and being like, bro, you're hearing things. I'm hearing my daughters running in the room and ain't nothing there. I locked their door, bro. I just left it locked. I haven't been in the room since, you know, this shit really popped off. I haven't even been in there. For real, I can't draw myself to go in there, bro. Because the way that my schedule, I only really got one day off a week. This type of hurt, bro, puts you down. You know, I could go back to work, and then next thing you know, shit, man, Ron B, you was there that one day, bro. He was working, bro. I'm in there just balling. I got shit coming out my eyes. I couldn't even control it, bro, for real. Like, I'm like, man, bro, play some gangster shit, because any R&B shit right now gonna make me just, nigga, Mary Blige was on. I was like, oh, this shit. I would kill the bitch. Like, I was fucked, yeah, bro. I was fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just, because I know the situation. I ain't been through your pain, but I understand when I went through my situation, I was with my kids every day. I took my son to football practice. I took my daughters to plays. I was at parent-teachers conferences. And the night they locked me up, my daughter had a play coming up that Friday. And all I could think is that she's going to look out there and I see her father. And it's just like you said, I wanted the son to have my son first. And when I had my son, I was done. Then I had my daughter, and the daughter, for every man who don't have one, is a whole different type of love that you have for your daughter. Your daughter, the bond that you have with your daughter and that you have with your son, it's like that. As much as you think your son bond is strong, that daughter bond is super strong, because she's gonna always love her daddy. And remember, you're the first man in her life. The first man in her life. She gonna always love. And it's just something, I'm not trying to bring up a hash, I'm just telling you it's truthful. You didn't have to tell me that when before I met you. I just know that I've already gone through it and dealt with it. And the only person I tell you today that I go back to the joint for, other than my wife, is my daughter. I would kill him off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? She only have, and she already know. So that's the love that we have, and that's the love that we have within our community for our women. So for you to come up on here and tell me that this situation occurred, I holistically feel your pain, man, and it's making me to tears just to hear about the situation that you've been through and the system putting you through, because again, they don't believe that the black man should be with his children. That's what it amounts to. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my question to you has been, if she hit you up on Facebook and said, I'm ready to come back, forgive me for everything, would you take her back? I mean, just, hey, I want to come back here and live. What would you say to her?
Live with me?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. We couldn't be together. But I mean, bro, that's what it comes down to, is like, bro, you could never your kids could never be okay if your baby mama ain't okay, if they with him. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure she be straight though.
You'll make sure she was straight.
I would never. I'd never. But I don't know how to be fake. You know what I'm saying? OJ don't know how to be fake, bro. OJ's one way with you. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If I don't fuck with you, I don't mind you knowing I don't fuck with you, bro. So it's like we could never go back up to that type of time. But, you know, and I'd be 100% with you. Like, yo, I'm fighting for full custody. And eventually it's gonna get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I regret, bro, like I said, being young and not thinking like, hey, yo, this shit can go bad one day. But you don't know. Like I said, we didn't know, bro. We was literally kicking up dust, cutting up a rug, and next thing you know, we in the bed. Like, man, we didn't get to know each other, man. You feel me? So it was like, at the end of the day, I was thinking to myself, like, I could have never known without giving it time that this person is really a spiteful motherfucker. She do this shit out of spite, bro. You know what I'm saying? Really a spiteful person, and that shit get down in there, man. You know what's crazy? I got so when this shit popped off, before she originally 100% took them from me, she went on a little hiatus and she was ducking and dodging and shit. And I was doing, you know, I do music here and there, so I had made a song, put it on YouTube, it's called Baby Mama Bullshit. And that was my original war cry. To be like, I'm going to custody, I'm doing all this shit. Next thing you know, bro, after that, it kind of just played out. She was gone from it, you know what I'm saying? But that shit didn't help either because it did what I wanted it to do for a minute. Like, I wanted people to hear my pain on a beat. And I broke 2 verses, and I broke our story down within those 2 verses, you know, and the city, the people that was connected to me that kind of know her mutual people, a lot of the parties heard it. So when it got back to her, it showed the fire of the beast, but you don't know how. It's like, bro, all my daughters look like me, bro. Like, how do you not, on a daily basis, look at them and be like you see me in them. So you know what you're doing to them because you seeing what's going on. Like, bro, they're not going to know why they are the way they are, how they act, why they think about the things they think about. You know, I don't eat pork, bro, and they was on a strict diet like that before she took it from me, and I know they just feed them whatever they want.
That's right.
Come on.
Yep.
Going against everything.
Even that crayon story, you know what I'm saying? A person, it takes a whole lot of a father to be like, you know, yeah, boom, but then get down and start writing on the wall because I know that's how I wanted somebody to treat me.
Yeah.
That's the type of, man, I understand that. I understand them so well because you are me. Yeah. And nobody else is gonna understand that. Yeah. Other people's gonna look like, oh, this is being bad, or they don't know anything or whatever. But it takes a lot to be, and that's the mother love that they explain, but they don't understand the father's got that same type of love to be able to break down and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit better with you because at the time when I was going through it, I wanted somebody to do a little bit better than me. Ask me why you did what you do, what's going on with you. Just be there. And it's a whole nother thing that it ain't written in no books. It ain't nothing. It's just inherently inside of us when it comes down to our children. And
let me ask you this, brother.
Yes, sir.
Real quick. If this was your situation, right?
Yes.
And you're looking at that, right? Mm-hmm. And like how I even told you, this shit was fucking up my relationship when I was telling my woman I was with, like, hey, you can't even bring your kids over here.
Yes, sir.
Now, mind you, when she done went over there and took, right? And this is you in this situation. So she took your kids and she moved off with this nigga, right? Mm-hmm. And raising them, and he's gonna help raise them as they own and shit, right? Mm-hmm. But he got 2 kids of his own.
Yes, sir.
With the cousin.
Yes, sir.
My daughters ain't kin to none of this nigga's family. What protection would you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't feel no protection out of that situation.
No. You
don't know what kind of niggas is over there.
No.
What kind of fucked up uncles over there.
No.
Pedophile motherfuckers. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
And then if those were your kids, bro, they'd look at your kids and be like, all right, we'll play like we okay with them, but then they're gonna get older. My daughter's gonna get older. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have a personality. They might say and pop shit off again, and they might have a rebuttal for everything. Yeah. They're not gonna treat them the same as they treat his kids.
Of course not.
All right, man.
That's just it takes a bigger man to be in that situation to understand that, and it takes maturity level because, you know, even if he was Say if the father was there, this dude, whoever the hell he is, and your children start to act out. In his mind, he might have been raised like every time you act out, I gotta beat your ass. In your mind, because they're your children, you knew how that shit played out. Like that shit never worked. I'm not gonna put my hands on my daughter because she ain't gonna react to that. But you know what? I'm gonna take some candy for her because I know she love. So you understand that because that's you.
Right.
You looking at yourself.
Right.
You know, and people. That's what I was getting at. It's like even the crayon on the wall is the best example of that because you reacted and then you pulled back and said, you know what? It wasn't. We ain't did nothing wrong.
Right.
I'll paint this motherfucking wall again.
Right.
You ain't did shit.
Right.
And that's how that bond of love starts to get. You know, boom, boom. You know, so yeah. I mean, you know, you would hope, you would pray, but based on this motherfucker doing some foul ass shit like that,
Right.
you don't even know what's going through his head.
Right.
You know, so I ain't trying to. I'm not in the best scenario of things. This get worked out. With you and your children, you get your children back, full custody. You know, we look for some services that's gonna help you as you know, as a male going through this situation.
For sure.
You know, we put out this, and we your story gets some traction where people actually reach out to you and want to help you find her, want to say it's a better. That's not the situation you're supposed to go through. My whole deal has always been to build awareness. To see certain things that people don't know that exist in our community. This is one thing. Because all they want to paint us is deadbeat baby fathers. He don't want to pay his child support. He ain't nothing. But it's like, fuck, no, Joe, I always wanted to be with my children.
And this is, you know, to top off on that point, man, I'm looking to the camera right here, and this is my message, bro, for the young brothers, man, and the up and coming fathers, bro. I'm gonna look into the camera and tell y'all like this, bro, is never play yourself, bro, by being stuck into what your mentality is used to, right? Understand that these things, bro, are serious, and as that going forward, you should always take them serious, bro. If you don't got custody and y'all not together, go get that joint custody, bro. I always feel like I didn't tell everybody, like, bro, never worry about the dollar that they take out of your check, and don't even be concerned about, bro, what she does with that motherfucking money, bro. Because it just brings too much stress above your life to be able to worry about that type of shit. Just make sure that your kids has got what they need from you. You know, if they need that, you know, have them packages ready. But the biggest thing, bro, is to literally go down there and get custody, bro. Get joint custody, fight for full custody. If you're in a position, though, to get up and go down to that motherfucking courthouse, bro, go do that shit, bro, and never get content with the situation, because that's what I did. I was like, hey, we're not together, but I got my daughters 4 days out the week, you know, 3 days, 4 nights, whatever the case was, and it'll be okay. But you never know, bro, and it's nothing that a man can really prepare for, bro, when a woman is spiteful and hurt, you know. And I think that's the biggest thing of 2023 is that message. Is like, bro, go get custody. You gotta fight for custody. Even if you don't got it, my nigga, keep fucking fighting, bro. You gotta keep fighting, nigga. It's a journey. I'm going uphill. It's an uphill fucking battle, bro. And I hold on to that every day, because I want to pop on a nigga every fucking day. There's somebody I'm coming across that be like, yo, you complaining about what? What the fuck are you complaining about, bro? You know, like, bro, you don't even know real pain it is to get the fuck. You gotta pull yourself out of bed, bro. Blankets and the fucking pillows is matted with spit and tears and boogers and shit. You crying your fucking self. I'm 30 years old, bro. Crying in there like a little fucking kid. And ain't got no other choice but to feel like a bitch ass nigga. Because my daughters are sitting here not understanding that it's gonna be a time process. It's a time process, bro. I can't even look in the camera and tell y'all exactly when I'm gonna get an opportunity to go fight for my kids. You feel me? And I'm sitting here doing my best on a daily basis not to lose this shit once, because I'm telling you, my nigga, I be this close. Y'all be this close. The shit wasn't it. I needed answers, my nigga. I'm ready to knock down doors. You know, I was trying to look for family members of family members. It's like, yo, you're gonna tell me where this nigga's at? Because I need to know where my kids at, bro. He was like about to bring a whole lot of shit to a lot of people just because it was like, and then I don't know what kind of nigga that is. I'd have told him, like, bitch, you about to do what? Yeah, I know how much that nigga love his kids, and you want to fuck with this dick, that's cool, but shit, ask him if he want.
I'll be on the man's tip. I'm like, listen, bro, I don't know what she doing, but I
That's
know
it.
I'm about
That's
to call
it.
you and like, man, Jay, I'm like, man, Joe, this is the
You
situation.
brought your kids with you, my nigga, but you gonna take mine to condone that shit?
Yeah, that's some old bullshit.
Come on, bro.
Well, with that, we gonna go to break, and
Yeah.
I can only tell you this one thing, and I'm gonna say it on camera. This SF mode. Saying, them daughters need you. So every time you think you want to do anything, just believe me, you can't do nothing if you get behind them walls. So what you gotta do is stay strong for them. Fuck everything else.
Yes,
Fuck
sir.
all that shit. Anybody else, those little babies are waiting on their father. But they can't do nothing with you coming to visit you or you getting some shit you can't get yourself out of.
Yes,
so
sir.
stay strong for them. I know it's easy for me to say, but you gotta do it
That's
for
real.
them.
That's real.
It's SAF Mode, prison lawyer.
Ron B in the middle say you can't lose 2 times.
Let's go.
I got something to say. I got something to say. No, I got something to say.
You want to hear me though? I got something to say.
We coming back on. This is SAF Mode, prison lawyer, the sports podcast host, podcast history. Doing this interview is really moving. You know what I'm saying? This is one opportunity. It's not strictly about criminal justice or anything like that, but I think all this builds into what they think as of us as African American males in our community. They have this pre-conscribed, or they got this narrative to how they see us visible. Deadbeat dads, don't want to be with their kids, you know what I'm saying, running away from my children. And I thought, like, when I sat in the joint doing my time, the biggest thing that hurt the most thing that hurt me the most, fuck the time, it was just me sitting there and not being around my kids for damn near 9 years. And that really hurt me. It hurt my heart, you know, because I didn't know what they was going through. I didn't know what they was thinking. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know my camera. Which camera you got me on? You ain't got me
You on?
Yeah, keep me.
I got these 2 cameras on.
Okay, yeah, keep them working. So I didn't know what was going on. I was like, every day, you know, I'll be thinking like, I was married at the time, and I didn't know if my wife was gonna be with somebody else, and if he was gonna be raising them, who they was looking up to. You know, they had some, good strong uncles out there. Shout out to the uncles that were, because that's what they always say. They have that saying that it takes a village to raise a child, and we always had that in our community. That if the father went away, the uncle stepped in. Uncles raised their children. Raise your children as if they was their children, and you still had that family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Your brother was raising your children, taking care of your wife for you while you was gone, and making sure the family was okay. But our family's been so destroyed. So when the story came to me, it hit me so hard, and I was like, you know what? That's what we've been doing with the voice of the voiceless. So I wanted to have my man. I'm reintroduced himself. He's the smoother. I don't know if he's smoother than me, but he's smooth. OJ, my man, Joe. And I'm go ahead. Just go and reintroduce yourself, man.
OJ Smooth, man. 30. Favorite chef from the TikTok Hilltop, man. Honored to be here and blessed, man. Humble, very humble, man, to be able to get this opportunity to come out here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro, for the little 2 hours that I've been here, bro, I felt like there's some type of weight that's just been lifted off me, though, And I feel like one of the biggest things may have been is just thinking that I was just gonna have to sit with this shit inside me and not knowing if it was the outlet for the music or how was I gonna get this out. But, I think this was mad therapeutic. I appreciate you brothers again, man, for letting me come on this platform.
I appreciate you for showing up and telling your story, becoming vulnerable. That's another thing we have issue with. Men don't feel like they should be vulnerable to situations, so they hold it in, they medicate themselves to get that off of them, right? So we find ourselves smoking and drinking and causing other problems when we should be, as men, come together. Because it's like this brother was telling me his story. I felt my story. My story's not his story, but that feeling of, fatherhood, having a daughter, understanding that that child, more so than your son, because all the time I'm pushing my son out the house, but I'm grabbing hold of my daughter, putting my arms around her, understanding that she's vulnerable to this world, and I'm the first person and the only person who's gonna be her protector until I turn her over to her husband, and I expect him to do what I would do, and that comes into her seeing me as the first person. So when she's looking for a husband, she's looking for somebody like me, somebody like her dad that was there for her, that never judged her, who was always that role model. You know what I'm saying? Like I see her flawless. That's my princess, and she see me as her king. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we are. That's a dynamic of our relationships. So when this brother brought this story to me, it hurt me to my heart to hear that this lady done ran off with the children just on some spiteful shit, just because she couldn't keep her shit together. But it makes me proud to understand that even though he wasn't given that blueprint, it was in his DNA to understand that he was more than just. When time came, he jumped up and became that man, and was able to get that moniker, I am a man. So what I want to do is, like, as much as you told me about your story and as pivotal it is, within that story is you've been able to help other children with your drum line, with your music, with everything. So it kept you, it debilitated you somewhat, but you was able to jump back into it. So could you talk to me more about the drum line and the things you've been doing, the positive things you've been doing in the community around here?
Yeah, for sure, man. I represent a flawless drill team over everything. That's an organization, man, stripped out of St. Paul. I run the team with my dad and my auntie. The core of the team is for surely based off of like a family. But we've been locked in for 2010. I'll give you a background from the Flawless. Straight from the Rondo area. My dad and my auntie, my dad's 51, God's willing, and he's been doing drill teams since he's been 9 with the Elk Highlighters. We been able to be blessed, man, to still keep the traditions going, and a lot of the traditions that we learned up until now and passing on to the next generation has been passed down generation to generation. So it's a competitive team. We got opportunity for our young youth, at-risk youth, man, to get an opportunity to go and travel state to see different parts of the country, man, and compete. And it instills discipline, a bond that they'll have forever. If you win first place out of state, man, in a hectic environment, drill team, man, it was a real big thing in Minnesota, man, as far as the Twin Cities. I think the culture has kind of died down with the misuse of the people on the board, how that goes, and understanding how important Rondo and the community of Rondo, and how important Rondo Days is to the culture. But there's still, man, a lot of blessings, man, and the youth the younger generation, bro, are so amazing. They're so highly developed. Even as time goes on, they amaze me every day, man. And there was opportunity to still take this pain and to see them kids, regardless of what I was going through, man, and how I was feeling depressed, the mental health stuff, man. It was like, I always practice. It's always Thursday, 6 to 8, out of the Jimmy Lee Rec Center, downstairs gym, and to be able to put all that shit aside, man, and show up for them every day, because a lot of the kids in our groups, man, don't have strong black male figures in their lives, and the ones that were in their lives disappear on them, and inconsistent. So it was like one of those main things to make sure I always show up for them, man. And unbeknownst to me, man, as I was going to practice, they were healing me in a certain way. Seeing them kids depend on me every week, and to look at me as like they big brother, a strong black man in their life that knows that he's never gonna disappear. I'm always there for him. And then seeing them grow, man, and there was there's a young dancer on the team, because it's a dance squad with the drummers, and when we're blended together, we're Flawless drill team, right? So there was a young girl, man, her name's Rose, and she was just the shyest, so shy when we first got her. She's only in like the 5th grade, and she was so shy, man, and just not really confident. You know, her mom was concerned about how she was gonna blend in and make friends. And that was almost like a half a year ago now, man. She's one of the loudest ones in the team now, you know what I'm saying? And to see her at practice and, you know, building that bond of sisterhood, because these are the people, man, she's gonna be cool with for the rest of their lives. You know, when you go out of state and win first place with a team and, you know, all the countless hours, and it's drill team, but I think the most important part of that is drill, just for the fact that it instills discipline.
Yes, sir.
Leadership, you know, being able to work as a team to accomplish the same goal. Work ethic is one of the biggest things that we really highlight on there. And this is a blessing, man, to still be a part of it. And my dad is 51. Eventually he'll pass the torch to me. And you know, that's my goal still to this day, man. It's just be one of the hardest drill teams in the land.
Your daughters, when you know y'all gonna, it's the family lineage. You know what I'm saying? It's probably something that they got within them with the DNA. Does not, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree. But what I wanted to say too is that, you know, the drum being historically in our community was the way we communicated for the longest, right? Drum is and that has this whole history to it within our community, and for you to be taking that on and passing it along. And the drill team, I don't see a lot of it up here in the north, but in the south, the drill team is huge. You know what I'm saying? That's a college scholarship. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be bringing them awareness to it, and they're grabbing it as a child. And being able to take that on to them, can either be a scholarship, could be a reason they go to college, to stay in college and continue to go on.
Yeah, man, that was a blessing within itself, is to be able to see the journey from here to now, and then seeing that, you know, throughout the time we've been locked in, man, we was able to send 5 kids to college within different things. It was the dance scholarship, it was the drumming, you know, marching band. Yeah. And you know, one of our things is like, it's crazy because our style of music, we don't read or write music, you know, but my younger drummers I used to have, they were still in the peak of middle school. So when they were with us locking in, I was telling them, get it on both sides. You know, this is something that you're gonna be able to take with you for the rest of your life, regardless of what we're installing in you now. But I said, it's an opportunity for you to be able to look at the other page and be like, okay, well, if I just learn how to read music, I know how to play.
Yeah, already.
I just learn how to read music.
Yeah.
And I get a fucking full scholarship, full ride.
And that drum line, and the whole movie of drum line is about that. Because he could pick it up, and it's rhythm and music is within our soul. But we the heartbeat. I mean, we have rhythm. We could fall down and have rhythm. You know, our culture has always been rhythm. We you know, and music has always been within us. It's just something that we grow up with, being able to hear that notes. And it's mathematics and rhythm. We are mathematical people, so mathematics, rhythm, all that stuff comes. It's already in you, DNA, and it's just for you to tap in and understand it and understand where that come from. So it was real beautiful when you told me that was another facet. You have many layers to yourself, as we all do.
Yes,
but they try to pigeonhole us. The other thing you said to me that you was thinking about, you want to and you will be able to start a restaurant.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we sort of vibed on that.
Yes, sir.
And the workings of it. Now, have you always been interested in cooking, or was it something that you just fell on?
You know what, man? It's really crazy, man. Because back in the days, bro, I used to just be a survivor, man. You know what I'm saying?
For ramen noodles?
Yeah, like whatever came into it. Like, man, one time, bro, I might have been like, I'm bored, but I don't feel like, you know, like I might have took some bread and put some mustard on it and fried up some onions and called it a sandwich, you know?
Okay,
just like being younger, bro, I was really with the as long as there was some nourishment on my stomach.
I ain't never heard that.
Hey, you ain't gotta take a bite, nigga. Don't, you know what I'm saying? It look good to me, tastes good to me, nigga. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and my little brother used to blow on me, man, for that shit. He was like, man, this nigga's a savage, bro. He'll fucking eat anything. I'm talking about, you know, toast it a little bit, get it crunchy. That's just some mustard, some fried onions. Call that bitch a day, nigga. But, you know, it was just something, man, that at the time, man, it was just something at the time that I tried. when I first did it, I didn't wake up one day and say I want to cook. It was just something I tried, man. And like one of my first jobs, right? And I started off as this dishwasher. Like 13 years ago, bro. I started off as a dishwasher and it's like 16, 17. And you know, I was like, this shit's cool, but it was more for the environment at the time, right? Because I'm loud, but my personality's fiery, it's up there. I'm like, you can see me when you walk in, you're gonna hear me. My energy is real heavy though, so you can feel me when you're around it. And I started doing these dishes, bro, and one day somebody had went down, I had to learn how to make pizzas and shit. And I'm popping off the pizzas, and the food industry still to this day, bro, there's like, it's ran a lot with like the Hispanics, the amigos and amigas really be in there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I got a thing for Latinas, so I was like, yo, should she work here? Give me that pizza, nigga, I'm rolling, I'm flipping, I'm flipping shit, bro, you know, Italiano style and shit. So it was cool, man, and then I ended up getting fired from that gig. And I was there for like 4 years or whatever. I ended up getting fired from this gig, but at that time I went from the bottom to the top. I was like right underneath the boss at that point. Just to report, I was getting across customers regular, but and at the location I was at, it was more of like a cafeteria style restaurant, right? So you go get your tray, go ask for what you want, and that type of shit. And you know, you see people on a daily basis. Oh, I come here Friday. Yo, OJ, you're a funny guy, whatever. I'm spinning the pizza for the kids, and it made me just be like, I think I'm gonna take this a little bit serious. And then I'll never forget this, man. I seen the journey, man, going from back in the day, 13 years ago, $14 was like, if you make $15, you balling. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I didn't get an opportunity to. Appreciate you. I didn't get an opportunity to go to school. You know, I didn't go to school for culinary. I didn't graduate college or nothing like that. So this was just something I just learned from, you know, took it from the mud and kind of went in on the shit. But, you know, after all this time, bro, it's the only thing I do. You know, besides my drill team, and I feel like my drill team is like a business of my own. It's a certain business aspect that I use it and look at it as. But once I start building a real passion for cooking and seeing what they were doing, the people that came in, maybe having a bad day, but then the plating, how the food looks, how it was cooked, were properly put on the plate, the seasoning of it, presentation when they look at it, and then, you know, anybody that grabs their phone out and click, you gonna put this shit on Instagram first. It's like, it was one of them things, man. And then you start rubbing and bumping shoulders with some of these great chefs like Brian Ingram. You know, he runs a lot of restaurants in St. Paul. Justin Sutherland, you know, he one of the bigger black chefs in the cities, you know, and you know, these guys start knowing me by first name basis. And you know, every time I started getting a free agent, if I left a job and I didn't have another job, my application became like it almost was like a bidding war. And I say that humbly because I like to stay humble, but you also take you know, that moment to accept the fact that, hey, it's confidence. Like, I know why I'm like a high paying free agent. If I go unemployed and my resume gets shot out there and be like, yo, OJ is not signed to no team right now, you know, it'd be a bidding war really to get to that point. But it became, man, one day I just looked at it and was like, bro, at the time I was working 40 hours between 2 jobs apiece, so it was 80 hours a week. Yeah. Literally 80 hours a week. And I was like, bro, and I know this motherfucker was making so much money that I was working for. These establishments that I was working for was making so much money. And we didn't look the same, if you know what I mean. Like, when I looked at the people that was owning these businesses, they didn't look like me. Yeah. They didn't have a background like I had a background. Yeah. You know, and there was just something that was like, I could do this. And there had to be somewhere, they had to start somewhere as well. Yes. So then, you know, I tried other things, but I tried to retail. You know, I did like a rec center shit like that, City of Parks Recs and shit like that. And it just is like, bro, this is the only thing I know. This is like, it's the only thing I can go to work and be me. You know, I get my job done. My personality is what it is. I got opportunity to be a head chef twice, a sous chef twice. So I seen both You know, I started as a dishwasher, bro. From a dishwasher 13 years ago, 13 years later, head chef twice, and then Hope Breakfast Bar was one of the like rated top breakfasts in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
And I was running that kitchen for a year and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and
Accomplishments.
yeah, man. And they look at it as like how they look, how we look, right? I'm like, they look at me and be like, this nigga got a neck tattoo, he got fucking dreads, braids up, and sneakers on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but what can I do? It's like I walk in there and I always, you know, a stage in the cooking terms is like a tryout, and a lot of people will want to negotiate prices, right? And I tell them my resume is it's like this, and I say that confidently because I know how hard I worked in this industry, and this shit ain't easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. This shit ain't easy, bro. The food industry is one of the most chaotic industries you could be a part of.
And that's funny because for me to come out and sit down and eat, and you know, and all that stuff that's going on in the kitchen, but then to see that meal to be brought out to me, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like an oxymoron, you know, to have it so chaotic.
Yeah.
Yet still this meal, I'm sitting down,
Yeah.
breaking bread with someone,
Yeah.
not even understanding what's going on behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I guess it's a beautiful thing in its sense. Have you ever thought about being on like one of those cooking shows or anything like that?
You know what, man? It was really ridiculous, man. Is so I got this fucking TV one time. It was like a 75-inch. It was like I played the video game. I try to say my life is real simple. I do drill team, go to work, make music, stay the fuck out of the way.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's like nowadays you don't get too many second chance opportunities, and it's more critical now, especially for us, that being at the wrong place at the wrong time could be critical. Regardless of the fact of where you're at, it's not even safe to go to the mall nowadays.
Right.
Motherfuckers pulling up machine guns, so shit like that. So I was playing the game. I bought this big ass TV to play the game on it, and at the time, my lady at the time, she might have fucked up my shit, whatever. My game wasn't working, so I'm like, all right, this shit got like the Roku channel. It was like the Roku channel, like a free shit on there, and they had the Hell's Kitchen on there, and it was like 21 seasons on there, bro. And I literally love food, bro. I watch all type of cooking shows, and I can go in there and go crazy on that shit for hours. Call it the rabbit hole, because you just go down that motherfucker. And I watched it, bro, and I watched season by season by season by seasons, and you know, you see a different mentality of cuisine when you go and you watch that type of, you know, chefery. When you see them type of chefs on there and the shit that they're cooking in those elegant plates and dishes that look mad simple but are like $40. You know what I'm saying? Like those things on there that made me really think about it. Like, bro, I could do that shit. You know, and that was always one of my ideas, was to be like, bro, if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna go on Hell's Kitchen. You know, and I'm gonna just go on there and rock my shit up. But you know, I think that really hit. It was like 5 years ago, bro, when a little bit before COVID hit, there was a switch in the industry where like money was going up, right? And I was rubbing elbows with certain people that went to college and graduated college that wasn't making more money than I was making in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I knew that if I stayed focused and took my craft seriously, I'd always be good in this field. Someone's always gonna need to eat. And then I got to a point where it's like, I am so good and I work so hard that I can't just be nobody's line cook. Like, I have to be the number one until I'm my own boss. Yeah. So that's the goal right now. You know, I'm locked in with 2 jobs. I work 6 days straight. I get Mondays off, and I'm just want to stack up. I gotta obviously take that first battle, was to get myself situated so I can get my daughters back.
Yes, sir.
But then I look at it all the time, bro. I see a couple of them. The market is always what it is. You can go on like Facebook Market and shit like that online, and there's always a truck that appears, and there's 2 ways you can get it. You can get one that's already like kind of gutted out for more cheaper. You're gonna put all the product in there, or you can come out of pocket a little bit more higher price, but then you got your grill, you got the ventilation system already built up for you, you know what I'm saying? So it's like no goal, bro, is too out of reach for me. And at this point, it's just like I'm so dedicated to be able to be like, mines is mines. Right. You know, I'm making millions of dollars for 13 years, bro. I made millions and millions of dollars for these companies. Yeah. And it's as quick as if something goes wrong, you know, I'm out of a fucking job and you find somebody to replace me. Right. And then, you know, I'll say this, man, I was working at the Bulldog Lordtown. And I say this respectfully, fuck the Bulldog Lordtown. You know, just real fucked up ownership, bro. And we made specials every 2 weeks. So it was like a special burger, a special wing, special entree dish, whatever. And I was getting super underpaid, right, for the job that I was doing. And I want to take time, man, to shout out one of my close friends, but a super good mentor in the food industry for me, Anthony Lewis. At the time, he was the head chef at Foryou, where I'm working at now, and I was working at the Bulldog right next door. And I was a key holder at the time, and I was so young and gullible, bro, just trying to do a good job. And I was a key holder. He was like, "You hold the key for this place?" I was, you know, I'm gonna tell him like I was late to open the door for my crew and all that. And he, you know, he's 40 now, so he's a little older than me. You know what I'm saying? He's like 13 years older than me. But he was telling me like, bro, like you're supposed to be making a certain amount of money. You're supposed to have some type of benefit or whoop. You know, it's like if you're that's management. Right. You're moving like a manager, and they're paying you like a line cook that just started here. Mm-hmm. And when I brought it back to, you know, them. They kind of just looked at me like, who you been talking to? You know what I'm saying? But the brother, you know, that was telling me this, my good friend Anthony Lewis, man, he looked like me. He looked like me. He got the same complexion as me. He go through the same problems as I got. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me like, bro, don't let them ever to play you, and always bet on yourself. Right. You know. And I had a good opportunity, man, to meet a lot of great people through this industry. But that one always stuck with me and was like, bro, I'd never sell myself short ever again.
Know your worth.
You know, so going forward, man, it was like I don't sit down with anybody unless like it's out the gate. Like, hey, bro, this is my price system. Start off negotiating. This is the negotiation price. Right. I'm going up after I tell you this is where I'm starting at. I'm gonna go up, and then you can see if you want to meet me in the middle somewhere as I go up. But anything beneath this, we can't even sit down. Right. You know, and when that came into play, it was just like, this shit is, if you got good food and you're a good person, you got a good vibe, somebody's gonna come. You know?
I remember you bringing the hot Cheeto batter to the chicken.
The hot Cheeto wing. A
few months ago.
The hot Cheeto wing.
That was pretty damn good. You get creative.
The opportunity, man, and that was where it just started. That's when I started realizing it was like, bro, I'm really good at what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of coming to that play where like people got to think like, oh man, you got to go graduate culinary school to be official and all that. Like I got this shit out the mud, bro. Right. Get in the kitchen, and one day I was just like, I had some hot Cheetos, big ass bag of Cheetos, wings, battered them up, you know, fried them. I injected cheese sauce inside the wing. Oh shit! So it was like nacho cheese inside the chicken with Cheeto batter. That's you know what I'm saying? And this is just on the fly while I'm still opening up. I got like 30 minutes before I open up. I just put some shit together right quick to see how I was looking and how I hit. And little moments like that because shit, you know, Ron B don't owe me shit. If that shit was trash, nigga, we real nigga. If that shit was trash, we'll try again.
It just sounds fire.
To be able to get that type of mindset, bro, was like, you know, and I wanna. So yeah, bro, I wanna.
What's your favorite? Like, if you did have a food truck right now, what would you be cooking for me right now?
This is my thing right here, bro. It's just like. Typically, it's either gonna be one or two things, right? You can go to food trucks and you see egg rolls and shit in there. You get your tacos and shit like that, right? But like, bro, because I am addicted to Latinas, and that's like been a culture for me. I inhabited that culture for so long, right? Even for my baby moms, like I've always fucked with a Latina, so I've always had some type of tamale or empanadas or, you know. Sopes and shit like that. So it was like it's my dream, bro, is the blending of two creative cuisines between Latin cuisine and just soul food.
I've never seen that.
It'll be able to go and you'll be able to go and get either or. But then the creations that come between the blends.
Yeah, hybrid.
Right? So you would think about a burrito if I gave you a soul food burrito. Yeah. Right? You would think about it like a burrito. You come with like you get your beans and your rice and your lettuce and your pico and all that. But if I put the burrito, and then I put what do you want? Like, what if I did brisket?
Right.
With yams and mashed potatoes. And
Don't tell them out. Don't give them everything. Don't give them everything.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on, yeah, matter of fact,
Motherfucker, sit up there, right? Sit there. Hold on, bro.
Did I just see you? Hey, this shit look real familiar.
Let me try that.
Nigga got a booth at the state fair and shit. I'm like, nigga, I'll get that shit patent first, my nigga.
Yeah, I'm saying that shit sound good. Like
It's opportunity, man, and it's a dream that's in route to work forward to. And then I even had a conversation with a couple of banks, and they were just like, yo, we want a 5-year plan. And a lot of them, just need the money, just have some bread up, put up, and go to them. Once I get the truck though, and the truck is the more doable thing. It's the permits that come with it. That's more of the logistics side that you're gonna get on that type of time. But as long as you get the truck, I could literally park that motherfucker and just work on the paperwork and the permits and all that. But the ideal, bro, at the end game is to have a restaurant in my community, bro.
Yes.
I feel like our community, we got to start building our community back up.
Right.
And one starts with one, but then one incorporates 2, and then 3 forms, and then 4 forms. And next thing you know, we rebuild the Rondo community, bro.
We were just talking about that outside before. We were smoking a little bit, just talking this. And we have a story about that whole demonstration by the Taste of Rondo hiring this young cat. The Taste of Rondo, the restaurant.
Yep.
Young cat coming up. He wants to do something, wants to work. And we was in there. Ron B brought it to me. Was like, hey, there's a story here because the owner, he's living with his relatives. He's really struggling, but he wants to help out. He's like 12, 13 years old. And he goes to Taste of Rondo and get a job, and he's the hardest worker out there. But if Taste of Rondo didn't exist, but how many other black businesses could have done be doing the same thing for our community and for our kids? And basically that's the story you telling. Like, I want to come back to my community, get to my community, but you're going to employ your community. You're going to be a black face in our community, and you're going to be a success story in our community, right? So, I mean, but then we talked about too about Rondo being, a situation where it was taken away from us and how much wealth that we lost. We might not even be having this story right now if Rondo actually existed. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And like you say that, it's just so much that I talk a lot about collateral consequences, and that in itself is a collateral consequence that we really don't know the wealth of what we lost, because a lot of people has been pushed out of their mind, their psyche. But when you start thinking about it, it goes right back to our conversation about you trying to fight for your daughters. That's Taste of Rondo. That's Rondo. That's who we were. That's who we always been. We've always been fathers who took care of our families. We've never not been in our family integrally. I don't care how it looked. That dad was always there working, making off some bread, taking his sister, or it was an uncle. Somebody was there. That's how I grew up. Right. I grew up with my uncles. If my father wasn't there, my uncles was there. Even if my father was there, my uncles was there, and my cousins was there. Right. We was a family. Right. So what you doing is ain't heard of. What the problem is not being publicized because people don't want to see that side of us, right? Yeah. They like to see us shoot them up, bang bang, gang bang, rapping. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Talking stupid, crazy. Sure. But you know one thing I'm gonna tell you, and this go back to everybody. Motherfuckers know I was in the joint and the time that I did, but all the motherfuckers as hard as they seem when they come out of that bullpen and whatever, them motherfuckers be crying in their cells at night because they're away from home. So as much as they want to build you up and make you seem like you that individual, a lot of motherfuckers ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know the separation is a motherfucker, especially from somebody you love. That shit, like you said, when you were describing that emotion inside of you, how it was, that shit start eating you like acid. You can't even drink, sleep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't even want to motherfucking breathe. Yeah. That's some real shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's reality. And a lot of people go through it. And a lot of people scared to talk about it. But we feel it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And it was so real just to hear your story and all the stuff that you've been through. And I just know, because you're such a positive brother, from the day I met you when you were standing out there and you was recording that day, you've always been like a spear of light, and it's something within you. And I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, whoop-de-whoop. I just believe like you understand what your journey is and what you need to do, and you're gonna do it and get it taken care of, no matter how that look, right? So like I said, I'm so proud that just the fact that we're not sending you up at Billy's and we just start chopping it up. I was like, man, come on, Joe. And like I said, it was so funny. It was right after Father's Day. Ironically, funny was right after Father's Day that, you know, that we sitting down here breaking bread, talking about what's going on and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely was God's time, man. And at the end of the day, bro, it was like, we didn't even really get to chop it up when I seen you that serious. So whatever you seen out of that moment that we had was like, bro, I'm gonna set this up so I can get you up on there. It was just like, I feel like everything happened for a reason, bro.
Yes,
because
sir.
there was a breaking point that I don't know if I passed it already and I was on the last thread or if I was heading that way and the dam was gonna crush at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But when I tell y'all, I honestly appreciate y'all, like words ain't really able to format to describe that shit, bro. Because it's like, I felt like I was on an island with one of them little fucking floaters and not having no lifeline around. You know what I'm saying? And y'all were like the big ship, like to pulled up and be like, nigga, we got you, brother. You know, and hopefully this keeps the wave going, you know, for all of us, man, to be able to see. And sometimes it just takes for you to listen to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it just gotta look at somebody and be like, bro, you might not be okay, and you might not be comfortable to say that you're not okay.
Yeah.
But this is what I can offer you.
Yeah.
If you showed up, if you choose to come and come through, it's on you. Fuck it. If you want to go outside, you want to throw the football, like whatever.
Yeah,
it can be anything sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward, man, to you know, keeping y'all in my life, man. There's some good brothers that I know. Like it don't take long, man, to really read somebody. You guys are some real good dudes, man.
Same way, man, you know, still sharp and still. So when I slid on you, when we was chopping it up that day, I told Ron B, as soon as I got back, I said, man, I just met OJ. I knew you, I didn't really kick it with you the night you was here, because I was in a rush to move around.
Yeah, for sure.
But when I was up there and I was like, man, we gotta get bro on the show, man. It was just something, because I ain't like that with everybody. I'm just like, when you was like, I was like, man, I gotta get bro on the show, man. I gotta get him on the show. And that's why I was like, what days available? What can we do?
Ben told you about OJ.
No, but it just said, you know, you could tell me something, but I'm hard headed.
No,
Gotta
sure.
put my hand on the stove, make sure that motherfucker hot.
Yeah, for
I'm a hard headed little boy. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I told you. He's like, I gotta find out for myself.
It's like, I mean, for real, because man, it was like after you hit me, it was like,
Back and forth, right?
Next week you good, and Monday you straight.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me lock.
I was like, I'm gonna spin off. And then I was like, because it was the holiday, I was like, well, maybe, bro, maybe I need to push back because maybe you already got plans. But when you hit me back, said I'm ready to go. I said, shit, that's F Mo's ready to go too. So he got on the show talking about he the smoothest.
Look.
Babe.
We find that nigga edit that shit out.
You know,
Is this thing on? Is this motherfucker on?
Every time you say it, it's on me.
One time.
What he say? Yeah. Hey, you got somebody you want to shout out, man. The restaurants you want to shout out, people you want to shout out, people. And I know you want to shout out your daughters. Praise be Allah, alhamdulillah. Definitely gonna come back, and they're gonna be back in this life. And
sure.
I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna do what I can do on my end to make sure it's happening. This is real. But anybody you want to shout out, shout them out.
Yeah, man. First, I want to, give a shout out to my daughters, Layla, Luna, and Liana. Daddy loves you. Think about y'all every day. I want to take this time to be able to apologize for not being able to prevent this situation before it happened. But also want to let y'all know, man, there's not a day that goes by that I let that shit slide. I'm constantly in a fight for y'all. I'll always be able to fight for y'all. And I ask for y'all just to be able to forgive me for the time we missed. I want to give a shout out to my mom, Michelle Williams, for always doing her best, for coming in the clutch, man, for this last year and a half. The brother been going through it. Like I said, my chef, one of my best friends, Anthony Lewis, taught me a lot in the food industry, put me on game, man. And then last but not least, man, I want to shout out my dad, Komet Imhotep, man, for you know, and showing me, you know, how a strong black man moves, preparing me for the real world. With all those people, man, I really wouldn't be nothing without y'all. And then, praise be to Allah, man.
I'm doing a lot. I'm gonna shake this man's hand. Beautiful man, beautiful brother.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, good. I appreciate you
Ron
for
B.
stopping in. He got an open invitation for us. Anytime you want to come back, update us on the story. I'm gonna push it as hard as I can because I want to get his daughters back on this platform. Let's be an integral part of it. I'm about to go smoke this SF Mode, the smoothest podcast host.
Hey, y'all don't think Ron B ain't here. I'm here.